Order of finish, Rancho Verde wins, Long Beach Poly is second, and Long Beach Wilson is third. The results from the girls 4x1. All right, now we move on and slow the pace down and go to the girls 1600. Of course, the great Polly Plummer with the CIF State meet. Alex Kaczynski, the U.S. high school best in 2007, but Kaczynski is not here. So instead, we turn our attention to the young woman who surprised everybody in last year's state final, Christine Babcock.
Christine Babcock. It was one of the most memorable moments at the California State meet last year. Where she comes from, look where she is, way back here. And she comes all the way, passes Annie St. Jem, the top high school runner in the country, as if she was standing still. Nobody expected Babcock to win this as a sophomore. Then last week, unbelievably enough, this woman runs not only the 1600, the 3200, but she also runs the 4x400 meter relay. And last week, she qualified her team in the 4x400 meter relay only moments after she qualified in the 3200. Great team athlete, great star, but now she's not going to surprise anybody. She is going to be the favorite going in, and Shannon Murakami of Saugus out in lane number 3 is going to be somebody else that you're going to want to watch. They have a great program up there in the Santa Clarita Valley, and Shannon Murakami has been laying a little bit low. She's been training just for this moment, Jim.
Girls 1600. Babcock is your favorite, the defending state champion, wearing the gold singlet top and the red shorts. At the Masters, she ran an even pace all the way around, went 4:48, never led, but was never out of the top 5, eventually finished third. A very smart race.
Jim, the top 6 runners in the country come from the state of California, but interestingly enough, the top 2, both of whom broke the national record this year, are not running. Alex Kaczynski got hurt in her sectional meet last week, and she's out. Jordan Hasse, we're going to see later in the 3200 meters. She's the defending state champion in that event. She has elected to run only that. And as you can see right now, Babcock solidly in second place in this event, right behind Anna Sperry of Simi Valley, who took the pace out in the prelims yesterday, and sneaking in right behind them is Shannon Murakami of Saugus.
Yeah, Anna Sperry does like to run at the front. She likes to control the pace. She likes them to follow her. She's almost always in the lead or in second, right in the garden spot. Now Babcock moves out onto the line just between lanes 1 and 2.
And out there,
on the shoulder.
Oh, pardon me, Jim. And out there, Shelby Buckley. She actually won the Masters meet. She's in 4th. She's from that great Corona Del Mar team, which had 4 runners under 5 minutes. Never has that happened before. Bill Sumner's done a marvelous job. And as you can see already, we have a break. The first 5 have separated themselves.
Yeah, I was going to bring up Shelby Buckley because I was pretty impressed with her at the Masters. I thought she ran an amazing last lap, won that race in 4:46.80, and blew right past Sperry and Babcock in the last 100 meters.
Well, and right now you're seeing Babcock. Last year she caught everybody by surprise with a kick. Right now she's controlling the pace from the front, with Murakami doing a little bit extra running there on her shoulder, and Sperry in 3rd. Murakami's been preparing for this all year long, and all of these Southern Section girls are very good friends. They cheer each other along. They commiserate before and after the meet. So I'm sure we'll see a love fest after the race is over.
Yeah, after the race is over, of course. Yeah, these are all the names we expected coming in. Babcock leads the way. Murakami right there, Sperry, and then Buckley. 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly like we drew it up.
Another one to watch a little bit is Chelsea Riley of Davis. She ran very, very well in the prelims yesterday, but again, you may run too hard in these prelims. You've got to control yourself. 2:20 for the first 800 meters. That's 4:40 pace. That's only 2 seconds off the national record. I would imagine, and here it's interesting because I think Babcock just inserted a little surge there, and now she's pulling away surprisingly from Murakami and Sperry. And you got to watch their heads. I saw Murakami's head tilt down. That's a sign of strain. That's the sign that you're trying to gather yourself to run faster. I saw Sperry do the same thing. And right now Babcock is full of run.
And then there's a break of about 7 meters back to Buckley, who has failed to cover that move, at least right now. And Tom, I would think that Sperry right now is just drafting off of Murakami and trying to keep an eye on Babcock up front. So it's kind of a delicate place she's in. She's trying to save energy, but she can't let that rubber band get stretched out too much. And now you see she starts to make the move coming off the hook.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see now, because this is a different strategy employed by Babcock. She obviously has been preparing for this race the whole year. She doesn't over-race despite these 4x400 meter relay legs she likes to throw in. She's a very smart runner, and we now have a lap to go in 3:30 through 1,200 meters. They're on 4:40 pace. Murakami really struggling in third, and coming up a little bit is Chelsea Riley of Davis, who had a good run there yesterday. She is moving into fourth. But this one is going to be Babcock's unless Sperry can really, really move now, Jim.
Tom, Babcock surprised us last year. We had no idea who she was. She came out of nowhere in the stretch down in Southern California to win it. She comes in as the big favorite, the one we're talking about, and I think she's done it again. I think she surprised us again, this time with tactics.
Exactly, and let's not forget that Babcock in the 4x400 meter relay for Woodbridge last week ran a 57-1 split. Now, how many women's 1,600 meter runner, 3,200 meter runners at the high school level do you know that can run a 57-second 400 meter relay leg only 15 minutes after they've run a 3,200 meters? This is a very special woman. We didn't realize this last year. We thought it was a fluke, but she is a dominating performer.
A statement by Babcock again, the junior from Woodbridge who won this event last year at the state meet, has doubled back to take away all doubt. Last year was not a fluke, a two-time champion.
4:38.87, the second fastest time in history, and now it's been adjusted to 4:38.85. Only Alex Kozinski has ever run faster.
A week ago, Chad Hall and Hudson Andrews dueled down the stretch in the SoCal Masters meet. Next, they renew the rivalry. The boys' 1,600 is on deck.
John Wooden once said, "Sports do not build character, they reveal it." In an age where footage from a sporting event could be spread around the world within minutes, it is imperative to stress to our youth the importance of sportsmanship. The CIF supports Character Counts, Pursuing Victory with Honor sportsmanship campaign. Go to CIFstate.org for programs and materials to help coaches and other adults equip youth with values to meet life's challenges on and off the field.
Okay, all this running around in the sands got me a little hungry. Fake an injury. Let's get to Islands for a big wave burger. A hot, delicious, juicy beef patty covered in melting cheese, topped with everything you could want on a burger. So delicious. Whoa! That's the injury I was looking for. Let's go!
Listen to your Islands craving at islandsrestaurants.com.
Toyota introduced the Prius hybrid and created a phenomenon. In fact, it took us by surprise. So we made more, which means you can find the right one for you. And we're offering savings up to $2,000 on option packages for the first time. America, your Prius is ready. The wait is over. Test drive America's most fuel-efficient car today.
Results of the girls' 1,600 meter state final. Christine Babcock wins for the second year in a row, a blistering 4:38.85. Anna Sperry holding on for second. Shelby Buckley from Corona Del Mar is third. Christine Babcock down on the field with Lindsay.
Christine Babcock snuck up on everybody last year, can't sneak up on anybody this season with a target on your back all season long. You have been very conservative in your races leading up to this. What was your strategy today?
Just to try to save my energy and do the best I could today and get closest to the national record as possible.
Has it been different for you this year running with a target on your back, not being able to sneak up on anyone?
Definitely, but I think it helped me grow as a runner, so.
Christine, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tom, Jim, she says she has not yet decided if she's going to double in the 3,200. We'll find out later.
Well, I'd like to add, too, on top of all that, Babcock set a junior class record for this event, as well as setting the state meet records. So she's just blistered through the record book. Now let's follow up in a couple other stories. Shannon Murakami of Saugus ended up 5th, and Chelsea Riley of Davis ended up 4th. Murakami ran 4:48.98 in fifth. Still a heck of a performance for that fine young athlete, Jim.
All right, let's move on to the boys 1600. And last week in this race, Chad Hall led throughout. But